Welcome back, everyone, to the Fallbar Baseball Show. Kevin and Ryan are here from Memphis. I was going to say that we're kind of snowed in, but it seems like the whole country is getting snowed in, or most of it at this point. So I would assume people have an hour of their lives to listen to us talk ball, probably. And
Hopefully.
it's been a couple weeks for us. There are some signings, couple trades, big names moving around. Um, We'll get to all of it that's happened since we made the last episode, at least a little bit, and the big guys will spend a little bit more time on. The most active team, though, over the past couple weeks is none other than Ryan Fallman's New York Baseball Mets.
Yeah, just after it looked about as bad as it possibly could, it went from really bad to pretty good. The whole reason I say it looked terrible was because of the Kyle Tucker signing, which we'll get to in a second after I kind of go on about my Mets for a little bit. But um, when the Dodgers get to perennial signings in this free agent class, you start to feel pretty down about your team's chances to win it all. And that's kind of how I was. And then we went out and got Bichette, which at first was really confusing, but when you think about how you can move pieces around, it made a lot of sense. Especially for his quality of bat, which we know is pretty amazing. Um, the best move of the offseason for the Mets was the Freddie Peralta trade because it was by far the most needed one. Um, the Mets opening day starter was more than likely going to be Nolan McLean, which isn't the worst thing in the world, but it's not entirely ideal, especially when you have guys like David Peterson, Clay Holmes, Sean Manaea, and Kodai Senga behind him who were obviously not good enough to get it done last year or really come close. So adding Freddie Peralta in there gives a big time bolster. And Tobias Myers, look, he could fit one of those roles, one of those five starter roles, and maybe could be a piece in the bullpen. We just signed Kimbrel and traded for Cooper Criswell. So those guys could be in the bullpen as well. But yeah, Freddie Peralta, by far the best move, by far the most fitting move for this team. And then Luis Robert was a great get for center field. Didn't only gave up a player who was never going to play for us in Luis Angel Acuna. So that was totally fine by me. Get a good defender. So upside on the hitting side, we'll see if it actually turns out well. But yeah, that's my Mets spiel. I'm pretty happy about it. I'm kind of happy with how the team's looking so far.
The Mets look good for everybody in terms of I want somebody to give the Dodgers a run.
Right.
And 2 weeks ago, the Mets were far from that because they were basically the same team or even less of the team that they were last year that failed to
Yeah.
make the playoffs. But all-star infielder and Bo Bichette, probably a third baseman. You get Freddie Peralta, who is on the last year of his contract. He's good. He's probably a number two in a perfect world.
Yeah,
But if Freddie Peralta is Freddie Peralta of last year and Nolan McLean is Nolan McLean of last year and what he should be, then no one's going to be picky about that.
totally. Yeah. Kind
Luis
of got it.
Robert, go.
Sorry. I
You
was just looking at the roster resource. I just pulled it up, and it's kind of interesting how we're fiddling with a six-man rotation right now because that's kind of what Senga kind of requests that on his own. He likes the extra day of rest. He kind of messes things up, but yeah, it's definitely interesting to look at our rotation um, because Peterson and Holmes really are ideal 3-4 guys. And if you look at the rotation like a month ago, they were arguably like making cases for like two or one even if McLean fell off. So yeah, it's definitely looking a lot better just on surface level.
The rotation went from, these guys are okay pitchers to pretty solid.
Yeah.
Has a
Yeah.
little more fire at the top. I think Luis Robert, if he can be an above average hitter, then the sky might be the limit for the Mets.
Yeah, there's a couple X factors on that offense where if they can turn the bat on, it can be really really dangerous come September. Luis Robert being one of them. I think Marcus Semien is one of them as well, where I mean, he won't get back to hitting 40 plus home runs, but
Yeah, that's behind him.
if he could hit 25 or more and keep like a 260, 270 average as well,
Yeah,
like we're
crazy.
talking serious production. And then Francisco Alvarez is the last name that jumps out to me. I think the rest of the names are relatively safe, but Alvarez has been one of those guys who fights injury and um, sometimes his production dips as a result. And sometimes he'll go out there and he'll be a top catcher in the league for a span of 2 or 3 weeks because he's honest. He honestly does it really well on the defensive side. So. Yeah, I'm super intrigued for what we've got going on here.
Brett Beatty also looked good at the end of last year too.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, and I didn't even include his name as one of those X Factor guys because he honestly gave me so much faith that he'll
mhm.
stay consistent that I didn't even really bat an eye at it. Like we kind of are starting to understand what we could get out of him.
How many teams are saying today that they have the chance to have nine guys with WRC plus 100 or better, or just league average or better?
Right, not a
Probably,
lot.
probably two.
Yeah.
Maybe the Rangers. I mean, we'll have a little Rangers talk later, I guess. It's not so much about their lineup, but like it's probably two.
Yeah, I mean,
So good for the Mets.
yeah, it's exciting. And for a team that gave me a lot of excitement and a lot of uh, disappointment last year, it's nice to finally see something that's like refreshing. You
Mhm.
know, as much as there was a little bit of outrage when Nimmo went, when Pete went, when McNeil went, you start to understand that you can't just run the same group back again. And if we sign Pete, what would the rest of the offseason look like? Would we be able to give that contract to Bo? Would we be able to trade for Freddie? Well, that actually wouldn't have been in the picture. But
Yeah.
like the point is you can't quite do the same thing over and over again and expect to win a World Series with that team. I mean, this team still hasn't won 90 games itself, like except for 2022 when the team went over 100. But even that roster was kind of pretty significantly different, especially in regards to pitching. So yeah, it's interesting.
My last comment on the Mets, and it's kind of an echo of what you just said. I'm not sure how high keeping Pete Alonso was on the priority list. I'm assuming because it's David Stearns, it probably wasn't actually that high. And he's
Oh,
like first baseman past 30. But regardless of that, he and Steve Cohen have done a good job pivoting because when you lose one of your best players, and we're about to talk about a team that wears red that did that, the fans are gonna want more good players in return. And the Mets lost one of their best players, and they're getting more good players. So
yeah.
good for the Mets. The Phillies and the Braves haven't done much. JT Realmuto is back in the Phillies. I didn't write that on the document, I don't think, because I don't remember exactly when it happened.
Yeah, I think it was the same night or same day Bo went to the Mets. It kind of got overshadowed by that.
That always
But
felt like a foregone conclusion that
right. I don't
he
think
was
really many teams were all that interested in Real Muto anyways.
some money. The Phillies feel like kind of the same team. The Braves are the same team, but like, of course they feel like they can be so much better than what they were last year. But
Yeah.
in terms of the NL East, the Mets have done a good job kind of inching their nose ahead of the pack as it stands right now.
The Phillies and Braves are interesting to me because they're kind of exactly what I was just talking about, where they're running the same group back and they're really expecting different results. And the Phillies, especially, I think the Braves could really, I think they still have some time in their window, but the Phillies have actually run this team back for the last 4 or 5
Supposedly.
years or something like that, where the lineup has looked almost identical pretty much ever since they signed Turner. and they haven't done anything worth like meaning. You know,
Well, they just haven't won a World Series.
they haven't won a World Series, and that
The
window
ultimate goal.
is really getting close to close, and it doesn't feel like they're trying to take that extra step or, you know, pivot a little bit, get rid of this guy and replace him with this guy. And, you know, I don't know. It's interesting to me because that is, yeah, this team, it just feels like as it ages, it's just getting worse and worse. And I'm not really up to speed with Wheeler's status, but he had a blood clot,
Yeah,
which
it's not
that ended
it's
Matt
not
Harvey's
smooth.
career. So we'll see what happens with that team. The Braves, I think, still have a little bit more juice left just
Yeah.
because that team entirely underperformed last year and they did make some moves in the offseason. But the Phillies, man, they'll be good, but we'll see.
hmm Going out west in the National League in this week's or this year's episode of wanting to pick up Dodger Stadium and shoot it at the sun, they signed Kyle Tucker for 4 years and $60 million per year because they can just do that.
Because I guess they can just do it. Um, I remember filming our predictions episode last year, and we both said how we really wanted to have the Dodgers like so many more wins below the second place team because they were so much better than whoever
Yeah.
was next. And they're even better than they were at this point last year, like way better.
Yeah, way better.
And because Otani is pitching, and because they signed Edwin Diaz, who is arguably the best closer in the league, and they signed Kyle Tucker, who is a top three corner outfielder in the league, maybe, probably. Um,
Also, you're gonna get hopefully, and this is what you got last year, a healthy Yamamoto,
yep,
who, shocker, one of the five best pitchers in baseball.
yep,
Um, Blake Snell health wise is looking good. Tyler
yep,
Glass now health wise is looking pretty good.
yep. We never know
Uh,
there, but yeah,
we
looking
never
pretty.
know there, but like,
Oh, oh darn, they lose one of their five-star pitchers.
right,
What
they're
will
gonna
they
be
ever do?
they might be
Oh, I guess
more
we have to pitch
fine.
Emmett Sheehan now.
They might be
Darn.
more fine than they usually are on pitching this year, which
Right.
is terrifying.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. They don't really have, to my knowledge, let me pull up their roster resource, but the back end of the bullpen is a little skeptical, but it's really just not. And then, oh my gosh, I mean, this team is ridiculous. It really just is. Um,
And you'd call on the back end of the bullpen skeptical as being a little nitpicky too.
right. It's like I'm just trying to find flaws, and there aren't any. I mean, I guess Tommy Edman is not the best player ever, maybe. Andy Pajes is like solid.
He was
Oh
good
no,
last
my
year.
nine hitter
He was
is
really good.
solid.
He was actually
Everybody
really
else's
good
nine
last
hitter
year.
is terrible.
Here, let me I had Kyle Tucker's Fangraphs page up because I think a lot of the eye jumping at this contract is like, is he really worth $60 million a year? And the short
No.
answer for 4 years, well, I mean, the short answer is no, because that's insane. But in terms of where his bidding went, the short answer for 4 years is kind of yes. Since 2021, Kyle Tucker F WAR per year, 4.9, 4.9, 4.9, 4.2, 4.5.
That's a lot of
In
war.
one of those years, he did it in 78 games.
Jeez. In
So
70. Oh my gosh.
so he's had 5 seasons in a row where he's been a top, what does that put you? Top 25 or 30 player
Right. Yeah.
uninterrupted. And one of those years was an MVP year when he got hurt.
Right. For context, Soto's was 6.8, 3.7, 6.2, 8.3, 5.8.
So
And they're making the same amount per year, roughly.
yeah, Soto's contract is longer. He deserves it.
Right.
Kyle Tucker's really good at a lot of things.
Right.
He's not the most powerful. He's not the fastest, but He's
Yeah.
really good at a lot of things, and he had a high market. The Blue Jays were in it. The Mets were in it with what I assume to believe is very competitive offers. And then the Dodgers dropped the hammer and completely blew him out of the water.
Yeah, it's just it's really crazy because go leading up to that night, it really seemed like the Mets were gonna get him. And then it was so interesting because everybody on Twitter was talking about, oh, the Dodgers are looming or oh, they're inevitable. And everybody was like kind of joking about it. And then it happened. And we at first, like I was pretty mad about it because I was like, there's no way they outdid whatever offer the Mets had. I think the Mets had six for like 220, some deferrals, something along the lines was their final offer. But I think what we had heard before was four for 200. And that felt like a reach for me. I personally
Like a
wouldn't
lot.
have given him anything over 45 a year, let alone even 40. And the Dodgers come out and boom, 60 mil a year with all the opt-outs in the world. And it just it blew everybody else's offers out by so much. And it just got to a point, it's like, what can you even do? What can you do? But, you know, we'll have some interesting discussions come this time next year in terms of
Yeah,
what the players want and what the league wants. So
yeah. The
we'll see there.
the Kyle Tucker signing, and it is not the first of its kind to do this, but it probably raises the most questions about the competitive balance agreement and the looming lockout. It obviously
Yeah,
does not make things look good, considering one of the goals is to have the higher spending teams not spend so much and be so good.
right.
But
Yeah, it'll be
play the game,
interesting.
play the game to win you. Play the game
Yeah,
to win.
that's what you do.
Yeah,
Moving on, uh, we have none other than Mr. Bregman,
Mr. Bregman.
and I'll let you take this one away. Bregman to the Cubs, 5 years, $175 million, a much more reasonable contract compared to the ones that we've talked about
Hmm.
uh, since recording this. So, yeah, take it away.
Yeah, it's reasonable. I'm gonna do the math on it just a little. Just I don't know, 175 divided by five. I know it's like a little more than 30 off the top of my head.
Yeah,
It's reasonable. It's a little expensive considering Alex Bregman's been, it's 35, has been really good for a while, but except for 1 year in Houston, he's never really been like a top of the line offensive player. He's
yeah,
always been just like really good for WAR, good defense. The thing that you pay for in addition with Alex Bregman is his clubhouse presence and his winning experience, which was something that numerous Red Sox players noted as fantastic in his one season there. And the
yeah.
Red Sox offered 165 and they didn't offer a no trade clause. And they lost to the team that offered 175 and a no trade clause. So now I understand that baseball teams have their way of like using models and projections and statistics. If the Alex Bregman contract is an overpay, even at 165, I wouldn't be too surprised because like his bat speed is whatever, it's fine. He's got a nice righty swing. He can pull the ball in the air. If he declines a little bit, wouldn't be a big shock. But having him in your locker room trying to compete, especially if you're the Red Sox with a lot of young players on your team, I think it would have been worth it. But I'm curious to see how it plays out.
Yeah, he is one of the more unique Savant pages. You talked about potential regression. And it's really interesting because he squares up the ball at a really high rate, but his, exit velocities are not as up to par and xWOBA's kind of down. So yeah, we could see some regression in that manner. Relatively hitter-friendly ballpark, so that might help his case. But yeah, I mean, he just seems like the veteran guy and kind of puts the pieces together, and that's kind of what the Cubs have needed a little bit is like somebody to, get them over the hump a little bit. But will it be enough? I don't really know.
Yeah, for the Cubs, I don't know. Their starting rotation is just, I don't think it's good enough to hang.
No. I just pulled up their roster resource, and it's fine. They've got a lot of good defense running around,
Great defense.
but they've got, oh gosh, hello Mac software update. That just came out of nowhere.
They
But
got
yeah,
the
they
best
they got
infield.
Edward Cabrera. That was a big one. And they've got solid starters, but nobody that's like awesome. Boyd was good, but will he regress?
Probably.
We'll
Kid Horton
see.
was good.
Yeah, I the thought that keeps coming back to my mind is like, can this team compete with the Dodgers? And it just, you put Daniel Palencia against Edwin Diaz, he gets put in the dirt. You put Matthew Boyd and Edward Cabrera against Blake Snell and Yamamoto. It just doesn't line up. You have their top four is Michael Busch, Alex Bregman, Ian Happ, Seiya Suzuki, which realistically is fine,
It's nice.
especially with some of the depth in this lineup. They got
And the
PCA,
defense.
Horner, Swanson. They've got a lot of really solid pieces, but you just stack it up against Otani, Betts, Tucker, Freeman, Will Smith. Those guys just absolutely stiff arm the crap out of these Cubs players, and it's just how it is.
Yeah.
So, good team. We'll see if they can be enough. But
Yeah. I think on the Bregman, on the outs for Bregman, I should say, the Diamondbacks and the Tigers were probably the two or like third and fourth most likely teams to sign him. I think he lives in Arizona, or at least spends a lot of time there. I know he's from New Mexico.
interesting. I didn't know
It
that.
would have made sense, I guess, but the Diamondbacks were saw the price get up that high and were like, even with Alex Bregman, what are we doing?
Right. Yeah. The
And
Diamondbacks are in an awkward position right now.
yeah, and Detroit, probably the price was too high. I mean,
Yeah.
they've shelled it out when they're ready to compete, but they made the playoffs in 24 and they're also in a weird position and they have a problem of their own that we might talk about a little bit here.
Yeah. They offered Tarek Skubal $19 million and said he was worth that, which is just so disrespectful.
So stupid.
But yeah, they that whole arbitration deal is going to be interesting. But if they can't afford to pay, or if they don't want to pay Tarek Skubal more than $20 million in an
Makes
arbitration
no
deal, they're sure
sense.
as heck not paying Alex Bregman 35 a year.
Right,
That's
but
just not gonna,
also if you only think Tarek Skubal is worth $19 million for the 2026 season,
right.
I don't even because first off, there's no way you could possibly think that as a baseball watcher. And you have absolutely no shot to pay him in free agency.
No shot.
So does it make a Skubal trade more likely? I still can't see it happening, but like
I
that just makes me feel like the Tigers are going to be so unserious about re-signing him.
There was a report from somebody a couple of days ago that came across my feed where it said that the Mets felt like they needed to give up their top five prospects in order to get him. So they're clearly still trying to get as much out of him as possible.
Yeah,
And honestly, that's not even crazy. Like them asking for the top five prospects in a system is not that outlandish because
no,
Skubal's
that's not.
that guy. But um it's just like if you think he's worth $19 million, you're not re-signing him. Like there's just no way unless you have a complete change of heart from now until next year's free agency. So it you have to get value out of him or else he's just gonna walk. And you can get a lot of value out of him, and especially when you look at some of the other teams that they're competing with in the AL who are making some moves. to make their team better and to
Hmm.
try and win a World Series or to try to at least win a pennant. It's, you know, they just are starting to not stack up. And um, if they can get four prospects for Tarek Skubal, like that's completely sensible for both teams and it works. And they can get for like let's say they just traded him to the Mets because this is who I'm familiar with prospect wise. They can get Tong and they could probably swing Benj maybe. Maybe. And then they could probably
They would
swing
have to.
like AJ Ewing is a name that's getting uh some some traction. And then Jacob Raymer would probably be the last one. Those guys are all in the top 100. You get four of them. Probably two of them are ended up being fine at the major league level, and two of them end up being pretty solid or really good. Then like that's so much more valuable than just saying, "All right, we're gonna try to pay you. Here's 3 years and $100 million," and
Yeah,
Tarek
they're
Skubal
going to come
spits
up
on the
short.
contract and throws it in the trash. So
I'm really excited for his free agency as long as he doesn't go to the Dodgers.
yeah,
But any other option, even if it's the Yankees, I don't care at this point. I'm just really excited.
right. It's gonna be so crazy.
I'm scrolling through MLB Pipeline and like trying to figure out like who else could put together a prospect package to
Right.
rival to get him. The best answer is honestly his own team. Like if I had Tarek Skubal on my team and I wasn't the Tigers, I would be asking for Kevin McGonigal and Max Clark at the same time.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
I don't know
Like if
who
Skeens
else.
were to get traded, that would be the ask.
Yeah, seriously. The Dodgers probably could. They've got three outfielders in the top 30, uh,
That's just so unfair. They
four in
have
the
this
top
super team, and
60.
then they
Mike
have
Sirota, Northeastern Husky, uh,
nice.
represent. Honestly, the Red Sox with one of the lefty prospects. Um, I just nobody's too valuable like to not get traded, but teams will be gutting their system if they do it.
Yeah, it's the asking price is reasonable, but it's not worth it for any team.
Yeah, I don't think so. For
Because
1 year.
Tarek's just that good.
Mhm.
But, we'll see.
Seattle, I've been saying it. He's gonna sign with Seattle.
It would make
They're
sense.
saving
It
up.
would make all the sense in the world.
They're saving up for him.
Um, Except for the fact that Seattle doesn't like to spend dollars. But they it would honestly make more sense if Seattle traded for him and then found a way to work out an extension as opposed to uh just outright signing him in free agency.
Let's see. Let's mock it up right now, Seattle. What can we do? Colt Emerson.
Yep, that would be in there. See ya.
MLB Pipeline's number 9. That might be a little high. Good for him. Kate Anderson.
Yep, see ya.
And at that point, this is why it's not going to happen because at that point, Seattle's like, no.
Yeah. Yeah. You get those two. Those are two really valuable prospects. I know they're
Seattle.
just prospects and we're kind of starting to learn that here, but woof.
Seattle's got Ryan Sloan. He comes in 6'5" righty. He comes in at number 33. He could stay. Laz Montez,
That's a name.
number 43, 65 grade power.
See ya.
So that's MLB Pipeline's number 9, number 21, and number 43.
But like that's what the Rangers just gave up for Mackenzie Gore,
Yeah, the Tigers for
which
sure
we'll talk
saying
about.
no. Here we go. Johnny Farmello, number 78,
Yep, see ya.
70 grade run tool,
Is he a high school
21 years
kid?
old. Uh, he's older now.
Uh, that name just rings a
Virginia
bell.
high school product.
Yeah.
Sure. So four top 78 prospects. Oh, Durangelo Cincha. Hold on.
Oh.
With both arms.
Yeah.
Um, he's only 5'11". Like the Mariners have six top 100 prospects. I guess they could if they wanted to.
Right. But like that's just so ridiculous. Yeah,
Not how
like
they
let's
operate.
trade all our best prospects for one guy
Yeah.
for one season. But I mean, he
Yeah.
kind of, shoved it down their throats twice in their building.
Maybe they have the best.
So
Maybe they have the best avenue to do it. Anyways, Tarek School's probably staying. A little bit
probably.
more of a reasonable left-hander transaction. Ranger Suarez to the good guys, the Boston Red Sox. 5-year, $130 million contract. Um, it's a good signing.
Yeah,
Ranger
totally. I was kind
Suarez,
of mad at my team when they didn't give him this contract
yeah.
because I thought he was worth even more. I thought he was
Ranger,
going to get 30.
Ranger Suarez has been pretty good and pretty dependable. He's one of the best in the league at generating soft contact and having not that many hard hit balls and having them be on the ground.
Yeah.
46.8 ground ball rate is that's good.
Yeah, he's kind of like Matthew Boyd, but better is kind of the comp that I get.
Hmm.
That the sinker is just unbelievable, but his savant page is really good. He generates weak contact like crazy, and he doesn't strike out a crazy amount of guys, but he's still above average in that category. And when you can get a lot of people to put the ball on the ground and you can strike out a guy when you need to, that's a pretty
Hmm.
valuable mix.
The fastball velo is not great. It's not even good. It's bad. It's it's not good.
But that's about it. Like,
He's a
who
lefty
cares?
that doesn't throw hard and he only throws his sinker 29% of the time.
Yeah,
It's
but
not going fast. It's like that's not really dead zone because it has more tail than rise. It's a
yeah,
sinker.
it's got
Shouldn't have
tons of
that much.
tail.
His fastball is totally dead zone.
Yeah, but he gets away with it because he throws that sinker so much that guys sell out for it.
Changeup's good.
Changeup's great.
Cutter is good.
Yep,
Curveballs.
curveball's
I
awesome.
mean, he's got good pitches. The one worry is like when he's 34 and 35, is Ranger Suarez throwing it 88 miles an hour, and how does that go?
Yeah,
I'm not
I
sure.
think the guys with that kind of concern, if they're already throwing soft and getting a ton of outs now, I feel like they can figure it out if they drop a mile an
Yeah,
hour or two within the next couple of years. So I
because
think I don't really
it
see that as much of
happens.
a concern.
Yeah. Um, the Red Sox rotation is it's very good.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Garrett
I wish I could
Crochet,
get that rotation.
Garrett Crochet was second in F4. Ranger Suarez, I think this is F4 on roster resource when they just like give a number to the guy.
Yeah, it should
Yeah.
be F4. I mean,
Garrett
F
Crochet.
stands for Fangraphs, so I would be surprised if they didn't use their own.
However they ranked starting pitchers across all of the big leagues last year. The Red Sox have number two, number 23, Ranger Suarez, and they traded for number 21, Sonny Gray.
That's pretty
So
awesome.
now Sonny Gray is he's old, but we already talked about the Sonny Gray trade.
Yeah.
Brian Bayo, 166 innings at a 3.35 ERA. If that's your four, yep.
Yes.
Um, Johan Oviedo,
Who? Low
he's
key. Like, oh wait, no, he was the
from
guy in the trade
from the
with the
Pirates.
Pirates. Yeah.
Big fastball, big slider. Maybe we don't always know where it's going, but
Yeah.
and then the Red Sox have two of the best left-handed pitching prospects in baseball.
Yeah,
And
totally early. These guys are
from
awesome.
my estimation, now I don't work for the team or anything, but by my estimation, the Red Sox and maybe nobody is going to be making a trade that is worth trading away Peyton Tolley, Connolly Early, or Brian Bayo.
Scooble.
Unless, right, like, because I think Ketel Marte is off the table. I think Nico Horner's off the table too, because if you were the Cubs and you traded Nico Horner, that would be stupid.
It would, but people have been saying it's gonna happen.
Yeah. Um, so who is the best player the Red Sox can get? Is it Isak Paredes from Houston?
No. That's the best player?
I just I don't in terms of like infielders on the trade market that are like actually have a chance to get moved.
Yeah, I would have to go through it. I
I
wouldn't.
don't I don't see an avenue in which Tolly, Early, or Bayo leave the team at this point because Ketel Marte rumors are kind of washed away.
Yeah, I don't really see any current trade prospects, but
Things
uh,
change. And then also,
once once teams get down to that deadline, they're really trying to make some magic happen in
mhm,
terms of like let's get as many prospects as we can. And I think, the Angels will probably have a guy that they're trying to get rid of. You'll have teams like the White Sox, excuse me, who are, trying to get rid of guys. So we'll see.
yeah, but like who matches up? Because on the same line of thinking, if there's no one out there for those three pitchers, there's no one out there worth either Jaron Duran or Wilyer Abreu.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, the team as it is right now, it's pitching dominant.
Yep.
It's outfield heavy and it's infield thin, but it's good.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting. You still got Romy hawking down that Tubi. Um,
You,
Sogard can do it too. And then Yoshida can kind of figure it out at certain positions. It's interesting how Fangraphs has Jarren Duran listed as the DH right now.
he is the fourth best defensive outfielder on the team.
But yeah, I guess that's actually true, which is insane. That's so crazy. But
One guy's got a
um,
gold glove, the other's got two, and then the third one is the second coming of Julius Caesar. I don't know if that's
yep.
a politically correct thing to say. I kind of don't care. But yeah, let's see. Jaron Duran fielding. Yeah, Jaron Duran in 2024 plus 11 fielding run value,
Oh
splitting his
my
time between left
gosh.
and center, and he is like for sure the fourth best one.
Teach someone to play second base.
I think he
Even if they
should.
got to do it lefty. I don't care. Teach them.
Yeah.
The Red Sox are good.
Yeah.
We know that. Roman Anthony's awesome. The rotation is disgusting.
Yeah.
The bullpen is solid.
Yeah. My biggest worry, I guess it really shouldn't be that big of a worry, but like I went over to Rafael's Fangraph page right after Duran's plus 22 fielding run value, which I think was the best mark for any non-catcher
Yeah.
on the planet. So if this guy is playing too much second base for you next year, it is a catastrophic fail.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
But the Red Sox probably have one more okay infielder in them, and we can move on from them. I feel like most of the big trades that people have been throwing around are likely going to fall flat, and where the team's at right now wasn't quite the offseason people had in mind, but I guess they are technically improving and getting better.
Yeah, I think so. I think this team is definitely better with Ranger and Sonny Gray. It allows Peyton Tolley and Connerly Early to kind of have lower intensity starts. They can fill in the fifth role instead of having to be hero like Nolan McLean was with the Mets last year. Um, you can throw them in the bullpen come playoff time. You can use
Start
them
them in
as
AAA,
starters if you want to.
let them
And then,
become
yeah,
one.
you just start them in AAA, let them develop even more, let them gain some confidence, set them up to the big league club. And you're really looking at some solid production there, I'd have to assume.
Yeah. About 3.5 hours south, the New York Yankees re-signed Cody Bellinger, I think just on accident because nobody else was in the Cody Bellinger market. Is 5 years, it's 162.5 million, which I think was more than the Yankees' final offer, but it was for sure less than what Boris and Cody were looking for.
Yeah.
The Yankees, with the exception of Ryan Weathers, the left-handed starter who they traded for, the 2026 Yankees are the 2025 Yankees.
They really are. Like up and down outside of I'm assuming they'll get Garrett Cole back somewhere within the year.
Cole and Rodon
Let's
are
see, when did he have
early regular
surgery?
season.
10-5. Nope, that's Rodon. Garrett Cole had Tommy John surgery on March 11th, 2025. So year and 2 months would put him in May is when he'll probably be back. That's
Possible.
typically the timeline is 12 to 14 months.
Hmm.
Rodon is currently hurt. He got a bone spur removed. I'm assuming that gets him ready to go come opening day
He might be a
if he got
little
it in
slow,
October.
but he's not going to miss a ton.
Yeah. But the rotation's going to be fine because Luis Heel will not, or Will Warren and Luis Heel will probably get booted out of it for those two guys. Schlittler will get his fair chance. Ryan
Oh, he's
Weathers, of
lucky.
course, will get his fair chance because he honestly was really, really pretty solid.
Yeah, he's
Um,
not bad.
and he'll round out that rotation well. The rotation's really good for this team. The back end of the order is not.
No, it's all
Uh, Brian, Giancarlo Stanton is old and can barely move. Ryan McMahon is solid on is really good on defense and a skeptical hitter. Jose Caballero, kind of same thing. Austin Wells, kind of same thing,
hmm.
but even worse.
Yeah. The Going back to how we talked about how many teams can say they're going to have WRC plus 100 or more at every position. The Yankees are at all nine spots in the lineup. The Yankees are definitely not one of them just because
No.
they're playing McMahon and Caballero, and then they'll be playing Anthony Volpe once he gets back from his shoulder injury. Um, just to compare that with something that's not
LOL.
the Dodgers, the Red Sox are probably closer. Like, what do you project for Marcelo Mayer? Probably around average.
Yeah.
Romy Gonzalez, at least against lefties, will be above average. Now, those two have to iron themselves out. But like the Yankees, they they fall off.
Yeah, and that super bullpen that they built really just ended up being not that great. Bednar was really solid. Camilo Doval was fine. Fernando Cruz, Tim Hill, Jake Bird, Paul Blackburn, those guys are all fine, I guess.
The
But
two
they
best
none of
ones play on the other side of town.
yeah, yeah. And Weaver's not there anymore, as you just mentioned. He went to the other side of town. Devin Williams, see ya, met. And now you're looking at a bullpen that's like, all right. If you get a starter out in the fifth inning, you're looking at Paul Blackburn,
Mm,
who is terrible.
yeah,
So this team, it just feels like the Phillies, but with a little bit more excitement because they have Aaron Judge
their rotation's better too.
and Ben
Well,
Rice is low-key that guy.
their rotation's hmm,
The
their
rotation's probably
rotation's more
better.
complete,
With the guys on the IL, not on the IL, they're probably a little bit more complete regarding starting pitching.
but not right now.
But yeah, I don't look at this team and feel intimidated, really.
Yeah, I don't look at any AL team and feel intimidated.
Right. But I looked at that Red Sox team and I was like, oof, that starting rotation is really, really solid. And the front line of the order is really solid. I guess I kind of feel that way with this team
Yeah.
too, but I don't feel like as moved. Um, so yeah, Bellinger's back, which is great, but that didn't improve anything for them because they already had him in the first
Mhm.
place. They've still got holes all over the place. So we'll see what this team does, but they're going to be good. We know that. But I don't think they're going to be any better. Trent Grisham will more than likely regress.
Yeah.
Bellinger will more than likely regress.
Stanton
But,
too. He hit pretty well, better than he had, and
yeah.
you can't really trust his body.
And then Jazz, we'll see what happens there. He had a really solid season last year, but it looks to be somewhat repeatable, but we may not see that. I think the only person who really is going to steal the show is Ben Rice. His savant page is pretty ridiculously awesome,
Noble and
and he
Greeno
just,
School, dead of mass.
yeah, there you
Neighboring
go,
neighboring town.
Massachusetts kid. But yeah, he's pretty solid. He's really good. We'll see how that ends up panning out. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts about the Yankees as of right now.
I wrote AOS stalemate in the notes before the Mackenzie Gore trade because, well, nobody in the AL West had done anything.
No,
But the Rangers added Mackenzie Gore. It was a big trade. They traded a lot of
a lot of
prospect
prospects.
capital to do it. But I think, I mean, I just said I don't get too scared by any AL team. The Rangers see a window to get back to the World Series, and they've had their ups and downs and injuries and inconsistencies, but it's coming together a little bit.
Yeah, Mackenzie Gore to me, it's like it's a good trade because he's young and he's projectable and he was a high draft pick and he was solid last year. But he had an expected ERA of 4.33, marks him at the 32nd percentile in the league.
Yeah.
Average exit velo of over 90 miles an hour, which marks him at the 19th percentile in the league. He gets hit really hard, and his ground ball rate is also bad, which means you give up doubles and you give up home runs. And it's just
Hard in
not a
the
good
air.
mix. If you're going to get hit hard, at least make it on the ground because a lot of pitchers still get value out of that. But he doesn't get that. He throws a four-seam fastball with ride, which means balls are going in the air. He throws, you know, pretty average off-speed pitches. He doesn't have a sinker. He's got a cutter that's kind of in play. He doesn't have anything for guys to get themselves out. He's either getting them out by via strikeout or not at all for the most part. And those kind of pitchers are good when you throw 100 miles an hour, but his fastball velo is 95.3, which is just above average. But
Something
I
crazy,
don't know. He
especially for
doesn't,
his size.
right.
It should be better.
It should be. It should be a little better. Um, he's he's good, but like it, worth all those prospects, I'm not quite sure. I wouldn't have wanted my team to pay all those prospects for him. They got Brandon Nimmo, which was good. They got no one else. But they get DeGrom back, they get Evaldi back. DeGrom, Evaldi, Gore is a pretty solid one, two,
Yeah.
three, but it's
DeGrom
nothing
and Evaldi were
amazing.
also really good last year.
Right, yeah. Um, Leiter looked really solid for a while, and Jacob Latz looked pretty decent. Um, he seems to be like up and coming in that for that team. Yeah, it this team could win a lot of games. This team could also not win a lot of games, but it brings us back to our points of 100 WRC plus hitters and teams that could, go toe to toe with the Dodgers. They're 0 for 2 in those regards.
Yeah.
So, it's fine.
They can go
This
toe to
team will
toe with the Red Sox
compete,
and Yankees.
right? They might be able to go toe to toe with the Tigers,
Yeah.
maybe, but ah, sure, you know.
If I'm a Rangers fan, I am biting my fingernails until either Jacob deGrom or Nathan Eovaldi misses significant time. I don't want to be that guy to like predict somebody to get injured, but like these are pitchers that are going to get closer to 40 than 35,
Yeah,
and you just don't have the ability to have that much mileage
yeah,
anymore. And they both have a little injury history. Um, things might things might not look so great if that happens.
yeah.
Also, and forgive me if I'm wrong because I'm using no numbers to back this up, but at least from the playoff games that we've seen there and the nationally televised games, the ball kind of flies in Globe Life.
I will actually correct you
I
there.
don't
I
know.
don't think it does.
I don't know if that's true.
Hold on. Let's just look up park factor.
Yeah. Maybe the Rangers just have players.
It's second to last
It's a pitcher's
or
park.
27th in the blue.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, it is. Maybe then they just have guys that hit a lot of home runs in those games.
Yeah, I think that's the case because
Then
like
that's
Seager hits the ball far
uh,
and Langford hits the ball hard.
Adolis Garcia when he
And
was
it's
on.
kind of just cool to watch the ball go out there for
Yeah.
some reason.
So
Um,
that's actually good for Gore. Maybe they had that in mind when they
yeah, it's
traded for him.
possible.
The lineup is good. The younger guys, not Langford as much, but like Evan Carter, Josh Young, we've kind of had some back and forth. What are we going to get? What do you want to be?
Yeah.
So, I mean, good on them for making a move when Houston and Seattle have kind of stood pat, but that's very much still a three-horse race. And is the AL Central, is it even, it's not even worth.
It what's even happening over there? Jose Ramirez got
He
extended.
got extended. That's the
He
big
gets to
news at
play
the
in
end of the
baseball
show.
purgatory for more years.
He said, I don't want to be rich. I want to be happy.
It, did he say that?
He did say that. I saw
Okay.
that. Well, I saw it on Instagram and I think it was real. But he
Okay.
did say that like he
That
doesn't
just
care
doesn't
about,
really feel like the what's going on. I think he's just getting rich and being in baseball purgatory and not being all that happy and being cold.
I mean, he could be like the richest.
True. He could be a Dodger and be the richest person ever.
If Jose Ramirez was a free agent, I guess not because he's 4 years older than Kyle Tucker, but like if Jose Ramirez was 29 this winter, I think if Kyle Tucker gets 4 for 240,
He gets
Jose
four for
Ramirez gets
300.
4 for 275.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I
he
mean,
likes he likes what he likes, and he probably likes the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and the Cavs.
yeah. And
But
aggressive stadium and hitting home runs out of it.
yeah, but yeah, when the AL Central wakes up, maybe we'll talk about it. But
Yeah, maybe we will. We
not
tend to
this
have a disdain for that division a
because
little
it's
bit.
just not exciting.
It just nothing happens.
And if the
It's not
Tigers,
awesome.
with the Tigers, the way they're treating Scooble, and this was their window to like get some better guys, and they didn't get any better guys. Like it's just annoying.
Right. I mean, the White Sox got Luis Angel Acuna, I guess, and Munetaka Murakami.
The White Sox, Jeff Passan tweeted about the White Sox, like they're getting some players.
They got Sir Anthony
Sir Anthony
Dominguez.
Dominguez,
Colson Montgomery and Cal Teal are exciting prospects, as is Chase Meadroth, however you pronounce it. Um,
Garrett Crochet trade.
yeah, those guys are good. They will be fine. No, they won't be. They will be kind of bad,
They'll be
but
bad.
yeah,
That
oh
whole
gosh,
division's not
that
going to be
rotation is
awesome.
really, really bad.
Like Shane Smith,
Yeah, and Anthony K.
is Sean Burke still going?
Sean Burke's going.
Oh, they have Sean Newcomb. Yeah. 2025
Mhm.
Red Sox, number 19. Did not
Wow.
spend a lot of time there. But
Yeah.
anyways, that'll just about do it for this installment of the Fall Ball Baseball Show. A little negative at the end, sadly, but that's the AL Central for you.
Yeah, at this point in the season, we're getting to the point where we're about to get excited about baseball, but we still haven't had baseball in a long time. But I think come the next couple episodes, we'll eventually roll around to some predictions.
Absolutely.
We'll start thinking about what's going to happen and not what has been happening. So
Absolutely.
that'll be fun for us.
Yeah. And to completely disregard that, if there's news, we'll tell you about it.
Yep,
But we'll be doing both in the coming weeks as spring training starts and there's baseball in the air and hopefully snow off the ground. But yeah, that's all for us for this episode of the Fall Bar. And thank you guys for listening as always.
absolutely. Adios.
Peace.